Hello everyone, welcome back to our discussion on human genetics. In this session, we are going to discuss about the inborn errors in metabolism. We'll be discussing about the diseases like or the disorders like alkaptonuria, phenylketonuria, and albinism. All these three conditions, like alkaptonuria, the phenylketonuria, and albinism, is affected or these are related to the metabolism of amino acids, mainly phenylalanine and tyrosine. So, three different enzymes are affected in this particular pathway of these two amino acid, or conversions of these two amino acid, or metabolism of these two amino acid, and that results in this particular disorders. So, coming to this inborn errors of metabolism. So, inborn errors of metabolism can be defined as these. So it is nothing but inherited metabolic disorders, or it can be also called as congenital metabolic disorders, and due to mutated proteins with enzymatic function. As a result, the biochemical pathways are affected, and the consequences for each of this particular disease depend on the enzyme, the metabolic pathway, etc. So disease presentation is heterogeneous in the sense that depending upon the allele, depending upon the locus and environmental factors, the disease can take different, or it can be heterozygous. So allelic variation, same gene, different mutations, severity can differ. More than one causative gene, presentation may look similar. Environmental factors can modify the effect. So the first classification is based on the type of metabolites, which is a very big classification. You can see many names here because each type of metabolic pathway, each type of disorder can be there, and that can be classified, and that is a very broad classification depending upon that. And because this is a very hectic classification, and easier classification is there, which states as disorders of intermediary metabolism, disorders of neurotransmitter, and disorders of biosynthetic degradation complex. So in this particular discussion, we are going to discuss about the biosynthetic and the catabolite or catabolite pathways. So this is how they can be identified. So treatment, etc., everything depends upon the type of error that is being caused. So they are effectively treated by mainly by dietary restriction. So in most of the inborn errors of metabolism, dietary restrictions can play a major role, or that is mainly treated, mainly taken as a treatment for inborn errors of metabolism. So this was an introduction about what is called as inborn errors in metabolism. And in this particular session, in our topic, as you saw there are many different types of classifications, and based on the simple three types of classification, and that we are going to see the errors in biosynthetic pathways and in the biosynthesis or metabolism of uh, compounds. So this is the particular metabolic pathway that we are interested in. That is a metabolic pathway of tyrosine and phenylalanine blockade. So this is phenylalanine. This phenylalanine is converted to tyrosine, and this tyrosine. So this is the or the metabolism of phenylalanine. So phenylalanine, which is an which we get from the diet, will be metabolized to tyrosine, and it can take different pathways, and you can see the different uh, conditions that results from the blockade of this particular pathway. And we are interested in this particular three: phenylketonuria. Then we are also interested in this the particular one which is called as albinism. So here what happens is that when this particular, that is phenylalanine to tyrosine, this particular pathway is blocked, this A, it results in the condition called as phenylketonuria. So what happens is, if this conversion is blocked, this phenylalanine will build up in the body because it is not being converted to tyrosine. This buildup of phenylalanine results in the conversion of pyruvic acid or phenylpyruvate, and this is toxic, or this is dangerous to the nervous system, because during childhood, or because inborn errors of metabolism, as we saw earlier, it is congenital. So during the brain development, or during the infant, or during the developmental period, the accumulation of this phenylpyruvate can cause nervous disorder in the brain, etc., and it can also tamper brain function, etc. Next is albinism, which is D, where the conversion of this uh, hydroxyphenylpyruvate to DS, conversion of this dihydroxyphenylalanine to melanin is blocked, and that will result in something which is called as albinism. So melanin is not produced, and that results in albinism. We are also have one more type of disorder, uh, which is called as the alkaptonuria. So we'll discuss alkaptonuria in the same pathway in the coming slides. So first one is alkaptonuria, or alkaptonuria is a rare genetic metabolic disorder which is characterized by the accumulation of homogentisic acid in the body. So this is affected by the same pathway. So this is the accumulation, or homogentisic acid is accumulated. So homogentisic acid accumulation means homogentisic acid is not converted to malic acid to acetate acid. So this is blocked, and this homogentosuria is the particular pathway that is being affected, or that is a pathway that is affected during this particular condition, where gentisic acid accumulates in the body. So, in this particular pathway, all other pathways will be normal in alkaptonuria, individuals with alkaptonuria, but this particular enzyme, the enzyme which is responsible for this conversion, is mutated, and that will result in the accumulation of homogentisic acid. So we'll see what happens in homogentisic acid individuals. So the effective individuals are characterized by the accumulation of this particular acid in the body. They lack functional level of the enzyme required for the breakdown. So affected individuals, this when homogentisic acid accumulates in the blood, that will be excreted through urine, and when exposed to air, this particular homogentisate, it turns black when exposed to air. However, since this change often takes several hours, often it goes unnoticed. So during the childhood, it is usually noticed when the particular children, they are used by or use they use diapers. If they do not use diapers, what happens is that this the change of the color of urine takes several hours to get of the contact of air. As a result, it goes unnoticed. So in early childhood, it is usually noticed when or in children who wear diapers, because it is only a case you come across such darkening after hours. In other cases, it goes unnoticed. So during infancy, the diapers may be stained in black, although this is also usually missed or ignored in other cases. So this is caused by the mutation of this homogentisate 1,2 dihydrogenase gene, and this gene contains the instruction for creating the enzyme called as homogentisate 1,2 di dioxygenase, and this is responsible for the conversion of homogentisic acid. So this enzyme helps in the breakdown of this, and mutation results in the deficient level of this particular enzyme, which leads to the excessive level of homogentisate in the blood. So going to this particular pathway, so this is the site which is being blocked. C is the enzyme that we discussed now. So this homogentisic acid or homogentisate accumulates in the blood, and that results in, and when it is excreted, excess level will be excreted through urine, and that gives the characteristic black. This is also called as black urine disease. So although this homogentisic acid is rapidly cleared from the body by kidneys, it slowly accumulates in various tissues like cartilages, etc. And over years, you can see the change in the color of the cartilage and soft tissues where this particular homogentisic acid is deposited. Over time, it eventually changes the colors of the affected tissues to stake blue or black color, and usually the bones and the cartilage they become brittle and weak. Long-term accumulation of the acid eventually weakens and damage other affected tissues and may lead to characteristic symptoms of alkaptonuria. Alkaptonuria. Alkaptonuria is an autosomal recessive disorder, uh, and this is inherited when the abnormal gene is inherited from both the parents, both father and the mother. If an individual receives one gene from normal and the other gene, which is a disease, the person will be a carrier of the disease. He will be normal, but he can be called as a carrier, because he will not show any symptoms of this particular disease.